As I mentioned, I am a professional crash test dummy because let's face it, I run into a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. Children, moving vehicles, telephone poles, and most likely by the end of the evening, I'm going to run into you too. I don't know who I pointed at, but it's probably you. I am one of only 1,000 people in known medical history to be born with a rare genetic condition called Alstrom Syndrome. I know what you're thinking. How has he not won the lottery yet? I'm working on it. Alstrom Syndrome can be vicious. For me, it has taken my sight, a little bit of my hearing, maybe made me a little bit heavier than I should be. But for others, it has ravaged their internal organs and reduced them to rubble. I was one of the lucky ones. And I thank the stars above every day for that. You may be wondering, and no, I was not born with no vision. When I was first born, I had usable vision. I could read a book, I could ride a bike, I could play basketball. Who doesn't love a good game of hoops, right? But as time went on, it progressed further and further, chipping away a little bit of my eyesight at a time. When I was 18 years old, I was losing my vision and was in denial and happy to be there. I think we've all been there at least a time or two in our lives. It wasn't until I was walking through the mall one day and continuously kept walking into those little tables that they keep in the aisle of Sears, thank you very much, guys, those are helpful, that I realized that something may be wrong. Because collisions were not unheard of when I had a little bit of vision. They just weren't as constant. So I gathered myself up, said maybe it's time to start using a stick, and went home to find one. The journey through life without vision is quite an interesting one. Because if it's not enough that we have to build systems as blind people to figure out exactly what we can do to make life work for us, the most interesting thing about it is that people just don't know how to interact with you. Sometimes you're walking around and trying to look for something, and someone walks up and says, "Can I help you?" To which I reply, "Yes, please!" Sometimes they'll grab your arm and try to lead you away and say, "Hey, watch that." I'm like, "I know where I'm going. Please let go of my arm. Thank you." Other times you'll ask them for directions. "Excuse me, where is the nearest pharmacy?" "Oh, it's over there." Thank you. Thank you. Let's try again. But I was lucky once again. Because while this was happening, while I was losing my vision, I found a circle of people who were willing to teach me. Teach me how to use a computer, teach me how to cook, teach me how to clean, teach me how to work and be an effective member of society despite that. But regardless of it, sometimes those voices just climb up in your head, don't they? And they scream at you. And for me, it screamed, "You will never amount to anything." And because of that, I fell into a depression. With the help of these friends that I mentioned, I was able to rake myself up, push forward, graduate university, and move on to find a career of my own. And the depression wasn't easy. Losing your vision isn't easy. We all have adversity. Say "I" if you've ever had adversity in your life. Oh, look, every last one of you. Let me tell you a little something. Blindness is not the only diversity, obviously. Have I manifested fear in my time? Absolutely. I, believe it or not, am afraid of crossing the street. Especially with all those quiet cars they're making nowadays, right? Thank you, economy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because maybe I'm walking. Maybe I think I have the right of way, and before you know it, boop, I'm a hoodornament. Do I miss things about having vision? Absolutely. I miss being able to go into chapters, grab a book, and huddle up in the corner and just read. I miss playing hoops. I miss sunsets. But have I learned things? Absolutely. I've learned that I cannot judge a book by its cover because I cannot see that cover. The average person gets to know you in 7 seconds and decides whether they like you. I take a little bit longer. Humor, as you can tell, has been a huge part of my journey. And I love being able to crack someone up with a blind joke and just break that ice that Armin was talking about a little while ago. So the way I see it is, if life's going to throw you some diversity anyway and make you bump into things along the way, why not have a little fun in the process? Thank you.